Greetings and welcome to the weekly wrap hosted by Transition Australia and me, Paul Shelton. You know, it's easy to feel a bit overwhelmed, like the problems are massive and there's just not enough happening to drive the change we need. But people aren't waiting for governments, they're getting on and doing it for themselves. And this short wrap-up will highlight just a few of the thousands of events that are being held every day across the country. We'll try to mix it up to bring some variety and novelty, but also highlight some important events that are happening in your local area, in your state, or in the country. We're also really happy to promote your event through our website or this shout out. So if you have an event that you want to get out there, big or small, then head to transitionaustralia.net. That's enough intro for now. Let's get into it. Our first event is for those folks in Melbourne. It's very clear from the current state of Victoria's environment that bold action is needed by the Andrews government to protect the places and wildlife we love. So on Thursday, the 28th of November, the 5th anniversary of the election of the Andrews government, the Victorian National Parks Association and Friends of the Earth will be bringing environment and community groups from across Victoria for the Nature for Life rally. This rally will be pushing for more action from this Andrews government, in particular new and better funded national parks, better protection for our forests, rivers, beaches, oceans and wildlife, stronger laws to protect threatened species and habitat that address the size of the crisis we're facing. But this rally is not all about doom and gloom, but also the positive message of what can and should be done in this term of government to protect nature. The Nature for Life rally is happening on Thursday the 28th of November and starts at midday at Victorian Parliament in Spring Street, Melbourne. On that same day and in the same city, we've got a couple of events from our friends at Extinction Rebellion. They will be following up the rally with a No Forests, No Future vigil from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. This event is being coordinated by XR Darebin and will be connecting the importance of forests and the role politicians need to play. Showing the very creative side of this organisation, they've decided to give every single member of the Victorian Parliament a native tree sapling as a gift and a reminder of their responsibility to protect the forests and our future. As well as the gifting, there'll be an overnight vigil on the steps for those who are willing and able to sacrifice a night's sleep to stand up for our forest. If this sounds a bit intense for your first XR action, then maybe an introductory session where you can find out more about the climate and biodiversity emergency and how Extinction Rebellion is using non-violent direct action to tackle the crisis head-on. Well, XR's got you for that too, with a Heading for Extinction session at the T.A. Nyman Community Hall in Chelsea, Victoria, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Finally, before we leave Thursday the 28th, we should check in with the Bayside Climate Action Group and Music for a Warming World, who are hosting a visually stunning, emotional and entertaining environmental concert with original music and large-scale visuals. This event is focused on promoting a step change in Australia's cultural narrative about our climate future and committed to providing reflection and support to all those with the courage to face this challenge. This program has evolved following performances to 3,000 people over 3.5 years, from major music festivals, universities and concert halls to house concert and climate groups. Titled Together We Will, this event will be held at the Hyatt Neighbourhood Community House in Hyatt, Victoria from 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. It's time to leave Victoria though and go national with what I hope is another massive event. It's been about a year since the very first School Strike for Climate strike. And it's crucial that we help this organisation keep the pressure up by supporting these fabulous events. Friday the 29th of November is the next day of action across Australia and the world, with events in all capital cities and more than 25 regional and rural centres, as well as the consistent demands for no new coal, oil or gas projects, 100% renewable energy by 2030 and funding for a just transition for fossil fuel workers and communities. These events are also focusing on the impact of climate on bushfires and the people who fight them. Many of these events are using the hashtag #ThisIsClimateChange symbol to host solidarity sit-downs and call for real climate action, not just thoughts and prayers. There are loads of actions, events and gatherings planned for this day all over the country and the world, so find out what's going on near you by going to schoolstrikeforclimate.com or check the listing in transitionaustralia.net. On Sunday the 1st, Transition Australia is holding our 5th Conversation Cafe, which we're calling Getting the Word Out. A conversation cafe, for those people who haven't been involved, is an opportunity for people, regardless of their geographical location, to get together and have a conversation around a theme. It's an online-based medium, which means you don't have to be anywhere, you just need access to a computer and an internet connection. This week we're going to be talking a little bit about how do we bring together groups to have a networked approach to changing the narrative. For more information on the Conversation Cafe and to find the link to how you can get involved in it, check out Transition Australia website at transitionaustralia.net. On Sunday the 1st, we've also got a repair cafe in Sydney North. This is a great opportunity to reteach repair skills and help with repairs to various items such as jewellery, ceramics, shoes, toys, clothes, zips, bags and a whole heap of other things. Even if you don't have something to repair, you can watch and learn and enjoy a fair trade coffee with organic milk and teas and a range of special homemade cakes. All events are free, donations are welcomed and appreciated, and this event will be happening at 180 Longueville Road, Lane Cove, New South Wales on December the 1st, starting at 2 p.m. We're almost into December, and we're getting close to that wonderful time of the year again where many people celebrate Christmas and New Year with family, friends and loved ones. Unfortunately, this celebration has not been so wonderful for Mother Earth and our fellow creatures, as our behaviours and consumption around celebrating have traditionally brought in huge amounts of unnecessary waste. So how do we create a zero waste Christmas? Well, that's going to be the focus of the Towards a Zero Christmas event that will be held at Grovedale Community Hub at 9 a.m. in Grovedale, Victoria. We're hoping to rethink and change the holiday consumption pattern and get others on board. Of course, this can be a big challenge, especially in negotiating with family. However, with a little knowledge, it can definitely be done. We can and must change business as usual and get creative. We can retain the joy and love in Christmas and other celebrations that we're having around the same time and include our planet in that. On Monday the 2nd of December, we've got an event that's really important as we move forward to a low energy, resilient and sustainable future. We've got Beyond Zero Emissions, Climate, Litigation and the Law event. This is happening at the University of Melbourne Fritz Loh Theatre at Parkville at 6:30 p.m. on Monday the 2nd. There will be Eliza DeWitt, partner from Norton Rose Fulbright, who will lead a discussion on climate and the law. This is an important discussion which will help us understand the role of law in a transition to a zero carbon economy. The event is part of Beyond Zero Emissions' monthly Melbourne discussion group and supported by the Australian-German Climate and Energy College. Finally, on the 5th of December in Bondi, New South Wales, there's an inner transition event from 6:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. This is a restorative event to give attention to the inner needs of environmentally active people. This is a lounge room style event where we take the time to reflect and connect with each other, alternating 3 powerful methods, one per month. The first is non-violent communication, the second is listening partnerships, and the third is dialogue circles. So if you're in Bondi and feeling in the need for a little bit of restorative recharging, then maybe check out that event. So that's just a brief snapshot of some of the literally thousands of events that are happening all over the country, with many more, ranging from food swaps, tree planting, planning events, creative sessions, and even a global discobedience. But don't take my word for it. Check out transitionaustralia.net to see what else is happening in your neighbourhood. Also, if you have an event that you would like promoted, then head to the transitionaustralia.net website and load it up. It takes just a couple of minutes and not only helps you get your message out, but helps us show that Australia isn't waiting for politicians to see the fire. We're getting on and fighting it. Thanks for your time. My name's Paul Shelton, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
The Climactic Collective.